What is up, YouTube? My name is Michael, and in this video, I'm going over my deck profile for my Tearlaments. So, there is I will say this build isn't complete. I don't have all the cards, but anyway, we're just gonna do it. We got three Maxis. It's kind of the card. So originally I actually wasn't playing Maxi. I was just playing Board Breakers. But then I kept the loot. I lost almost every mirror to decks that had Max C because it made it really awkward. So I put it back in. It's a very good card, obviously. Yeah. Next up, two Merly. Uh, we got two of each name, including Rhino Heart. I think if you're, I would like a third Rhino Heart. I just don't got the gems for it at the moment, and I don't got the. I don't got. I pretty much just I can't do that. But I like three. It's not a big deal though. If you don't get Rhino Heart, there is a budget option. I say budget, but um, in Supreme Sea Mare. Supreme Sea Mare does exactly what Rhino Heart does for the deck, but isn't a tier name. It is only super. So keep that in mind. Three King of the Swamps. King of the Swamps is actually pretty good. It is good at baiting Ash Blossom. A lot of people in higher ranks, platinum and above, they're not gonna ash this. They know better. But even if they don't, that's fine. Because a lot of the time, what this does is when they ash any of your other tier monsters and stuff like that, a lot of times you can just activate polymerization and fuse with and everything like that, and go off that way. So yeah, we're playing also one polymerization. But Fairy Tale Snow as a one of. Now, Snow is decent. I I have won a few games based just pretty much just because of Snow. Um, but yeah, I it's not a make or break. So if you don't have Snow, that's perfectly fine. But to Keldo, to Medora, these are the shufflers. They shuffle stuff back in. They're very good disruption and all that. And we got two of each of the mills. I know that so the reason we're playing this ratio is because we only have two Kelbecks. If we had three Kelbecks, we could get away with one Agito. Agito isn't actually all that good. Um, but yeah, if we only had get around with one Agito, because Agito is actually not that good. Agito mills you an extra five. That's great. But the problem with Agito is it doesn't have a very good hand effect on the Hellback. So yeah. This card can be replaced. Uh this was like in an earlier build I had of this deck and it just hasn't made it out. It's going to when I get another copy of Scream, but and maybe something else. But the important thing is that this is an Aqua. So originally I was playing Nessie and Mothman, not polymerization, obviously. But yeah, if I get another Rhino Heart and I get enough gems to get terraforming, because I actually don't own it on this account, uh, uh, Nessie's getting replaced. Polymerization, as a one of, it's actually a good extender. Foolish Burial, sometimes you just foolish and then okay. Reinforcements of the army, because Reinhardt is a warrior, so it's an extra copy of it. Instant fusion. Instant fusion, you can instant fusion out Kit Kalos and then search and everything, and even if they, get rid of it, they negate. Uh instant fusion's good negate targets because it's not necessarily needed most of the time. Kit Kalos is also will be also good fodder for Ash and stuff. But Dark Ruler No More is in this deck because it being best of one, I actually kind of feared I was gonna run into all kinds of nonsense. Whereas like this might be a tier zero format, right? But I think that if you run into all kinds of if you go second and your opponent is playing some weird deck, sometimes Dark Ruler No More will shut him off. I played against Emancipator after like soon after I got this deck, and Dark Ruler No More came in clutch. So uh it I obviously I didn't know TK them, but I broke their board because of it. Now we got one Perlerino. I would actually probably cut um Dark Ruler No More if we had more Perlerinos. I could easily I could easily just get I can out most board. Uh Tearlaments Scream, also a very good card. I think that it being an ultra rare, while it's a common in the actual card game, is a travesty. Uh, it's fine though, and I'll tell you why. Super Poly, really good. I beat a branded player because they had a Guardian Chimera out and something else, and it super polyed away into Dragon's Depel. Got two these, good. One crime, two sully. For the extra deck, one mud dragon. It's a super poly target. Kit Kalos, good. Kit Kalos you can run at one even if it was at three, and a lot of people do. I personally like running it at multiples, but one is very manageable and very easy to do, especially because we don't have the bite steals. If we had the bite steals, it wouldn't be. It would be a lot scarier. So two Dragon Stapelia, playing two. It comes up sometimes, and it's not a hard once per turn. You can like negate multiple things. Yeah, Rukalos, uh, Heart. These are the boss monsters. This negates summons, an effect that would summon. Um, and this negates this doesn't negate anything. This just shuffles a card back. Very important. This card is the most important thing for the mirror match. Fist Dweller. Sometimes, um, even going blind first and you don't know for sure, making a Abyss Dweller can actually just shut down not only tier decks but a lot of decks. So when you make a Abyss Dweller, you can Dweller and just on their draw phase and just it's over a lot of the times, or it makes it very awkward for them to play out of. Minerva was kind of in here as filler, but there was actually several games where they stop a lot of my plays with the hand traps, and but I could still make a rank 4, so I make Minerva, and then I just mill 3, and I get to start going off that way, and sometimes they can. We got Baguska. Um, this is when all goes wrong. If your opponent shifters you, there's a lot of times you can actually just make Baguska and pass. Because the decks that are going to shifter you usually lose to or they don't play well with their Phoenix. This card is to out problematic spell and trap cards like Necro Valley. Necro Valley is a issue, and I ran into a Crystal Beast player playing it, and it didn't stop me because I had Phoenix. IP Machina is good. Dark is really good in the mirror match and against Sprite. It's decent. Elf is really good because you can summon Merly back if your Merly Mills went bad or whatever. Unicorn. Unicorn is out problematic cards, and this is helps push for OTK even more. Now I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons of this deck. One, here's a pro. Besides Shrin, most of the cards are that are ultra rare. You can get away with one of, or in Rhino Heart's case, you don't need, but it helps. So with Rhino Heart, you can get supers and you can Supreme Sea Mare with just for tier names specifically. Um, for because Brucalos, Lido Heart are ultra rares, but they're in the extra deck, and so you almost always have access to them. And on top of that, they're one of even if you had multiple. Shrin is a three, would be a three of, but we don't, but we only have two, so it's a two of. That's the only downside. Early Havness are uh, early and Havness are common, so that shouldn't matter. If you're opening packs, you should be able to dismantle them. The good news is this deck, despite seeing a ton of ultras and supers and stuff like that, a lot of these cards aren't actually needed. You don't need King of the Swamps. You don't need Fairy Tale Snow in the deck. You don't necessarily need Super Poly either. For ultras and stuff like that, there are cards you should get. Um, this you can get from the story mode. That's fine. And everything. If you do get Reinhardt, Foolish you should have. There's a lot of decks that just kind of want Foolish, and it's really, really good. Instant Fusion is also really good. But as soon as they hit Kit Kalos and everything, um, just throw Instant Fusion out of this deck for something else. Uh, so the cards that don't have like aren't needed in this deck that are high rarity are Snow, uh, Rhino Heart, and Super Poly. Oh, and I guess for Super, it'd be like King of the Swamp. Those are the ones that aren't needed. Oh, and Nessie. If you want, instead of Nessie, you can run Gamma Seal. I don't own Gamma Seal on this account, but I don't think. Oh, you can run Gamma Seal instead. Gamma Seal is also a super. If had if Toad was legal on Master Duel, I would be running a cute little package with Bahamut Shark and Toad, so that and because Toad is an Aqua and stuff like that, you could fuse it into Kit. It's really cool. But that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my deck profile and explaining my choices. If it is your birthday today, happy birthday, and of course, and as always, have a wonderful day.